So now we have 7 locations in Minneapolis, 1 in Palo Alto, California. But what's significant is the Daymaker aspect. 1986, same year I opened my salon, I was traveling around the world doing hair shows. I would do models on stage and people would come to the conventions. And I was in Dallas, Texas one time. I walked out in front of 2,000 people and I walked out with this model and I said, what if it was more about her than it was about me? What if I was here to make her day? Right? So I cut her hair and she loved it and it stuck with me. So I'm going to the airport to fly back to Minneapolis, 1986. Now imagine I've got leather pants on, REO Speedwagon hair. You know that guy? You guys don't believe me. So I'm flying first class with my leather pants and my big hair. And I sit next to this really conservative businessman. And he says, what do you do? And I said, I'm a Daymaker. It's the first time I ever said it. He said, what in the world is a Daymaker? And I said, I make people's day. He said, wow, you must be really good at it. Because I was flying first class. So I went home and I changed my business card from stylist to Daymaker. And I started handing it out to my clients. And my clients said, oh, that's so cute. I'm here to make your day. Oh, that's so cute. I might meet people at a party. Here's my card, Daymaker. Yeah, my hairdresser. Come on in, I'll make your day. Oh, that's so cute. It was so cute for a number of months. And then one day, one of my clients, my regular clients that came in every 5 weeks for a haircut, came in between those appointments to just have her hair done for the night. And I said, wow, what do you have going on tonight? You special occasion? She said, no, I just want to look good and feel good. And I said, great. We had a blast for a half hour. Gave her stress relieving treatment, great shampoo, blow dry. She gave me this really great hug when she left. 2 days later, she sent me my gift. My gift was a note that said, David, thank you for being there without knowing that you were. The reason that she came in to look good was because she was going to commit suicide that night. She wanted to look good at her own funeral. It was 1986, and I still get goosebumps. It's like I'm reading that note for the first time. Wow, what do you do with that? And I thought, what if I wasn't there? Not physically, but what if I was having a fight with my girlfriend? What if rent was due? What if I wasn't present? And then the other thing that struck me was, of the 200 or 300 clients that I had, if you would have lined them up, I would have never, ever chosen her as the one. So I started to treat every one of my clients as if they were the one. 1 in 10 Americans right now is in a state of deep depression. That means there's 30, 40 people here right now that are having a tough day. So why not treat everyone that you interact with as if they're the one? When I did that, my business got busier. I had more purpose in what I was doing. The Daymaker thing just started to take off in the industry. I started doing speaking. And I ended up going on a speaking tour with Deepak Chopra and Dr. Wayne Dyer. People were buying books and tapes. They were coming up to me and saying, where's your book? I said, I'm a high school graduate with a year of beauty school. I didn't know we wrote books. So I decided to write a book and went to Maui, Hawaii. There we go. We were visiting Maui, Hawaii at the time, and I really wanted to write a book that was about my life as a Daymaker. It's not a theoretical book, if you read it. I used to have 2 theories on raising children. Now I have 2 children, I don't have theories anymore. So I took 6 weeks and I went to write my book. One of the chapters is how to make your mate's day. So mine was, how do I make my wife's day? So I take her to lunch one day and I said, write down 10 things that I could do to make your day. Passed her a legal pad. I thought it would take her the whole lunch. She scribbles it down, passes it back. You guys want to know what it was? You guys do. I know you do. Number 1, listen. Number 2, communicate. Number 3, participate. Number 4, listen. Number 5, communicate. Number 6, participate. Number 7, listen. Number 8, communicate. Number 9, participate. And number 10 is the most important. Repeat 1 through 9. Now what she was telling me, and my lesson that I learned in that was she wasn't telling me what she wanted me to do. She was telling me what she wanted me to be. Women, can I get an oh yeah? So I didn't have to make a list of what I was going to do. I just had to be an active listener. I had to be a participant in whatever came my way that day. You don't make lists to elicit love from your wife. You act in the moment. And those are the magic moments. So I ended up writing the book, came back to Minnesota. I had no idea how to publish a book. The guy that does our printing cards and our business cards and so on said, yeah, I'll try to print it. So we went through press checks and this and that. And then 9/11 happened. 9/11 happened and I thought, what difference does letting people merge into traffic or opening a door, writing your wife a poem, what difference could that make now? Because the pendulum had been swung way over here, right? So in November, I flew out to New York. I'm flying in New York and I'm looking at all these buildings and all these people. And I thought, how am I going to change New York? I really was going to change New York. A few days later, I was out walking down Fifth Avenue. Fifth Avenue is about this wide, right? Hundreds of people walking by. And I'm walking down Fifth Avenue and I see this woman 200 feet away. She's this tall, dressed to the nines, 85 years old, mad as could be at the world. Toxic, like she's walking like this. And people are staying away from her because she looked dangerous. 85-year-old woman was going to blow up. And for some reason I stopped. And with my Daymaker posture. Right? And I gave her what I could. I call it heart-to-heart resuscitation. She did not see me, but she stopped because she could feel it. So she's walking, all of a sudden she stops and she looks up at me, and I'm just standing there with a smile, giving her what I could. And she went from this angry, confused woman, all of a sudden she stood up straighter, her shoulders went, and she smiled back at me. And we walked past each other, smiling, big smiles. But we did not say a word to each other. A few days later, I flew out of New York and I patted myself on the back and I said, David, you did it. You changed New York. Even if it was that one woman in that one moment on that one street, you changed New York. Do you believe that? Because all the people that she came in contact with the rest of the street, and her doorman, and her children, and her grandchildren that day probably had a better experience just because we did. And that's the thing that makes so much sense. Some people want to transform the world. I did. I wanted to change the world. Went on a 26-city tour all over the world speaking about it, came back, the world hadn't changed. And then I realized that the world changes by the way I wake up with my wife, by the way I wake up with my children, how I say good morning to the bus driver. Because my world's quite small. I think the world's in a great place. Because I can control my world. And the magic is when my world meets your world. So it gave me confidence to go and print the book. So it was right before Christmas, printed 2,000 books, gave 400 to my employees, had 1,600 in my garage. Right after the holidays, one of my favorite employees calls and says, David, we have to have coffee. I hate having coffee, especially with my favorite employees, because it means they want to say goodbye and thank you. Right? So I went to lunch, or I went to have coffee, and she said, you know, I went to Christmas, and I gave my grandfather, he's 81 years old, or 84 years old, been married to my grandmother for 51 years. And no one in our family can ever remember him paying her a compliment or being kind. 51 years. So I gave him your book. He said, what's this? I said, it's Life as a Daymaker. My boss wrote it. And he set it down. Between Christmas and New Year's, he read my book. And she said, you would not believe it, David. For New Year's Eve, my 84-year-old grandfather made my grandmother her first candle at dinner and wrote her a poem using her name, where if you read the book, you'll know why. And she started crying. And she said something really significant. She said, you know what, David? He could pass tomorrow now and we'd be okay. What's he going to be remembered for? The 51 years of being a curmudgeon? No. They're going to cherish that poem that he wrote. So you don't have to take a 6-week seminar, you don't need a certification in Daymaker, you just have to decide that that's what you want to be, right? So I ended up bringing that to the world, first in the salon business. Salon owners bought it, they wanted their employees to understand it. Employees started telling their clients about it, sold 50,000 books in the beauty industry. High school started the Project Daymaker, the Navy adopted Project Daymaker. A guy from Taiwan called, said he wanted 3,000 books. I said, 3,000 books in Taiwan? He said, yeah. He said, I've got 3,000 employees, and we spend an hour a week learning English. I want to make sure they're learning the right English. So then I got the call. The call was from Oprah's producers. They called me and they said, tell us about the movement. I said, what? I said, yeah, the movement, the Daymaker movement. Because they started hearing about the military wives, and they started hearing about high school kids doing all these different projects. And I realized that I only had about 6,000 books in my garage. You don't go on Oprah with 6,000 books, 6,000 books in your garage. So I ended up getting an agent, getting a publisher, and we took the Project Daymaker van, converted Winnebago into a salon and spa. We went on a 26-city tour. AIDS hospices, Ronald McDonald houses, military bases, and made people's day. Was fortunate enough to get on Good Morning America. They blocked off Times Square. It was April 15th, pretty stressful day in New York. And they let us do stressed out New Yorkers for the whole hour. Book became a bestseller the next week, continues to roll. There's been about 700,000 copies that have been sold in the United States, 50,000 now in China. And all of a sudden, people are realizing this viral effect of being nice and how impactful that can be on their lives. So, how that relates to Jute and what we do, this is how most people experience my company.